Hello. Welcome. It's Saturday. We don't usually stream on Saturdays, but we've been working on a game jam for the past, 3 weeks. This is week 4, my god. We've been working on a game jam. This is for the Metroidvania month game jam. We've been trying to throw together a Metroidvania game in a month. Trying to save the most interesting work to do on stream, with mixed results so far, but I think we're set up to do some hopefully interesting stuff today. Basically, up until this point, we've spent a lot of time kind of coding up building blocks that we're going to be able to, use as kind of the Lego pieces of our game. And so the hope is that today we can spend the majority of the time focused on putting those Lego blocks together to make something kind of interesting, hopefully. Let me just adjust some cables here. We're also in a different setup than usual. I'm on a different computer. I've had to move a bunch of things around because there are a lot of pieces of equipment that I only have one of, like the microphone. So I kind of got wires all over the place, but it's fine. Cool. So the theme for this game jam is alchemy. It's an optional theme, but we've decided to take the option. Let me show you what we have so far. So I've put together a little demo area that is going to show off all of the... pretty much all of the mechanics that we have so far. And then we can enumerate the ones that we want to add. But I think that there's a lot that we can do here today, putting this level together. Even without those mechanics, we'll be able to kind of suggest them, I guess, in a lot of places. Or maybe we can spend some time coding a little bit. We'll see. I'm not committed. Let's check it out. So let's look at what we've got so far. Again, gonna emphasize, every graphic here is a placeholder just put together for this little demo, just so that we can tell things apart from each other. You can see here, like, these backgrounds look just terrible. But besides that, like, these... well, we'll see. I'll show you. So here's our player, and right away, we need him to be able to tell us which direction we're facing, because that's important. That's a polish item that we don't have right now. The theme of the game is alchemy, and so the idea is that we want platforms in the world to have different materials. So you can see there's this kind of brown color platform here, and if we go over here, there's a silver one over here as well. And so the whole mechanic of this game is going to be about finding potions, or making potions, maybe, that are going to... be able to change the material of items in the world. So, like, we go here, we go to this little source, potion container. I don't know really what this is supposed to be. And there's a potion here called Tin to Air. So if we take this Tin to Air potion and we throw it here, it does nothing. It just breaks right on that. We can grab as many of these as we want. And because this is supposed to be copper, the Tin to Air potions don't do anything for it. But if we take them and hit them at this tin wall, because it's going to change it to air, boom, gets rid of that wall. Great, easy peasy. And hey, look, we've unlocked another potion here. It's called Copper to Tin. And so you can see how this would work. We can throw our Tin to Air potions, they still do nothing, but if we select this Copper to Tin potion, throw it at the copper wall, boom, now the copper wall is tin to air, now it's out of the way. And so that's going to be, I think, a main mechanic of this game, is going to be changing these materials. Right now, the only thing that we can do is change between materials, which is also going to change the color of the blocks, and then ultimately change them to air, which takes them out of the way. There's one or two more things that I want us to be able to do that are yet to be implemented, but I think should be pretty fast, given that we have the kind of whole material framework, the whole changing materials framework. I think the remaining items, with those mechanics, should be relatively easy to implement. So maybe we can do those today. Then we've got a box here. There's dialogue. Right now, this is an important polish item. Anything can have dialogue lines attached to it. This is just something that we can, I guess that's a component that we can attach to anything in the world. So you can see here, this has this dialogue. It has dialogue lines. We can advance dialogue, although there's no mechanism that does that right now. But we could have multiple dialogue lines and have them advance linearly based on things that are happening in the game, perhaps. We can also take things out of this box. We can put things into this box. Ooh, that's interesting. There's a good bug. So it doesn't really matter, but because these... Yeah, actually, that is a bug. So because these are infinite, these potions, we can infinitely put them into that chest and then infinitely take them out again. That's actually very fixable. Let's actually fix that bug right now, because that's a funny one. But anyway, so we've got this ability to throw stuff around. Let me just show you actually grabbing the candle. We can have props that we can pick up and throw around. We can make them break or not break. We can make them change materials of things. We can make things go away if they get turned into air. And we can attach dialogue to stuff. And between all of this, hopefully we can put some stuff together. And we can talk more about what kind of other mechanics we can do in a second. So, hey, grab the candle. You can put the candle back if you want in this box. And we can throw a candle just to have a candle. Not quite sure. So the idea is ultimately we want the arc of this game to be trying to find potions, basically to be able to turn lead into gold. That's going to be our whole alchemy aspect. That's what we are aiming for. So let's fix this bug real quick, because I think that's actually going to be pretty easy. So basically what we've done, in order to make it so that some containers can infinitely give us potions, right? Because there's this problem of if you throw a potion and you don't hit the right thing, now you don't have the potion anymore. We need to fix that. We could have done that in multiple ways. We could have made it so like potions can be picked up again and rethrown or something, but it seemed like there was a lot of surface area to lose an important item that you need, and so we've got this option to make a potion or make an item infinite, basically. So as you take it out of an inventory, it isn't consumed. The problem is that property is being maintained or duplicated when I put the new item in my inventory. So all we have to do is make that not happen. Let's take a look at, I think it's on Pickupable. This is a class that we can add to our various things. Does this have the property is unlimited? Yeah, so if it is unlimited, that will mean it never gets consumed, and that's actually based on this item icon. What do we call it? Inventory icon? Inventory icon. So the little image of the object that's in your inventory is a separate class from the object itself in the world. I think makes sense. What we need to do, so you can see here, we say if this was added and the parent pickupable isn't unlimited, then we should remove this from the container. So what we need to do is make sure that when we do this, when we add something to the container, or add something to a container, we remove the unlimited property from it. And I think that should be doable. So let's look for this add. This.parentPickupable. Oh. Okay, so a hacky way we could do this would be to say, can I get from an inventory? I don't really need these headphones. I guess I'm just listening to the music. It's kind of nice, kind of relaxing. How do you think the mustache affects your stats as a JRPG character? I think that it gives me worse charisma, but like a higher intimidation skill. I think that people look at it and they say, "Ooh, I don't like that man, but I also don't want to cross him." Because, not because he seems particularly powerful, but just he seems unpredictable. Okay. Should be unreachable unless we mess up the count. Always good to see that line of code, or that comment in code. This should be unreachable. Hopefully that stays true. Okay, so I want to be able to... Good. We want to be able to get a particular item. Maybe we could add this to... Add. Can I have an optional argument in... We could do it as add as limited or something too. Can I make this an optional? Although, do we... Okay, so the question is, so here we like pack objects into the inventory at the beginning when the game first boots up. So basically we drop, when we're using the editor, we drop the item in the world, and then it gets like packed into the container at the beginning when we start up. So the question is, does that use the same method as adding the item to my inventory when I take it out of the container? In which case we don't want to lose the unlimited property. I think the answer is yes, but let's see. That'll be what? Pickupable container. We did not do a good job naming these. So here they are being packed in. Add item icon. This.inventory.add item icon. Does adding item icon add something? I mean, we could also just try it and see what happens. It's been a while since I've touched this code in particular. I promise we're not going to do too much coding today. That's part of the goal, is to not spend this whole time. But we just found this bug, and it seemed like it was going to be easier to fix. We could do it like this. We could just say, okay, so add item icon gets called here. It also gets called in add, so we can do this separately. Okay. Equals item, add item icon, item IDX. The question is, can I do... So just make it if you ever add something to an inventory with this add function, it becomes not unlimited. Our item is a pickupable, so we could say dot is unlimited equals false. Let's see what that breaks. Let's find out what that ruins. So we'll need to run through our little level here to recreate these bugs, or to recreate this bug. We can move stuff around if this didn't fix it. So we grab the tin to air. See, it is getting packed in, so it did lose this is unlimited property. Okay, that's fine. So we can't do this here. We got to be more explicit about this. We can do this on maybe on inventory icon. So let's see, on pointer click dot add this dot parent pick upable. Are the inventory items public? They really shouldn't be, but that kind of makes our life a little easier. So I can say adding inventory, added IDX, so wherever we added this to, so get the item that we just added and set is unlimited equals false. So this is only when we do so if we move an item by clicking it, we remove the is unlimited property. Will this work? Let us find out. Can apply indexing with expression of type inventory. Right, because we need to actually get the items of the inventory, right? Which is going to be inventory.inventory items. There are a lot of names. It's not that important. We've chosen a lot of names that stutter here, that kind of say the same words over and over and over again, which I think is a little bit of bad style, but it's hardly the worst thing we're doing. Okay, so let's see. So here's our little man. Again, we need to be able to tell which direction he's facing. We got tin to air. Let's take a look. So on this tin to air is unlimited, as it should be. Let's keep an eye on this is unlimited property. So we packed in this in here. Why is it being... Is it because we have a single pointer to this item when it gets moved? But it's being duplicated. We can also fix this later. Let's make this a to-do. We'll say, because this is not blocking us from finishing this game. So we'll say to-do, fix, item, unlimited. Cool. I'm adding it to my little list. We won't worry about this right now. So again, we'll just... I did save my changes to the container class, right? What is it? Pick upable, container. No changes need to be saved. Okay, good. Where did we do this? Uh-oh. Oh, the inventory icon, right? Okay. So I think we should make our little tutorial area today. That's what we're going to do first here, right after I... Okay. Try to add it, leave it alone. Let's make sure that that fixed the bug. We'll play through our little thing. What we have right now. The filling up the inventory with the garbage isn't a huge problem. It will be a problem if we implement a mechanic later that's going to let us, like, trade items. Okay, so we've got our tin to air. We throw it at the tin wall. We go and we get the copper to tin. We go and we get the tin to air. We throw the copper to tin at the copper wall. We throw the tin to air at the copper wall. Here's our congratulations, have a candle. Soul Foundry says, I'm coming in, guns a-blazing. Watch out. Not really, but maybe. Are there butterflies and centipedes yet? No, I know you asked about this last time, too. Alas, no, not right now. And so let's also just confirm that we can still do this bug, just so that we know, talking of bugs, just that we know that this is still an issue. Good. Okay. Fine. Let's make our little starting area. So I think that these mechanics are basically the ones that I think this is close to what we want to show off in the starting area. But let's do it for real. And so I think let's make each of these zones be like a room, and we'll move our player into zone 3. I just want to check one thing to start, which is the player contains a pointer to the zone that they're in, and I want to make sure that's being updated correctly on start. Cool, current zone is zone 3. Great. And that means that if we look at the scene, we should see that all the stuff in zone 1 is unloaded, which is perfect. Great. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so we'll put him in zone 1. And we're going to need some kind of a dialogue or something to tell him to take this potion. And so I think on this copper to tin source, yeah, let's do it like this. There's a lot of stuff where we're going to want to, like, add detail. I think it would be fun to just add a bunch of props to this game, a bunch of, like, chairs and stuff that we can pick up and throw just to be annoying. I think would be a good time, but let's not worry about that right now. Okay, so 1.25, let's make this like a 2.0. We'll just give ourselves a nice big room to start. Let's duplicate this floor. Make a ceiling, maybe. So we're starting really in like a little room. These should be okay to overlap with each other. That shouldn't cause any problems. And let's make this... Let's move our copper to tin source over here. I think that's fine. I mean, we'll use the placeholder graphics for now, but that's fine to put here. And let's put our tin door here. Can we make this shorter? How tall should it be? I guess it should be as tall as this zone 3 wall. Or wall here. Minus, what? 1/4, so it should be 0.75 high. So go... this is our tin wall, which we should also move into our zone 3, because it's not part of zone... We moved it out of zone 2 here, and we'll make this 0.75. And that should be a perfect fit, or else my math is wrong. Yep, my math is wrong. Good! Instead... Oh, why is it so short? That's fine, no worries. We could also just make this... It's fine. Let's put this at... So what is it going to be instead? 125. Oh, yeah! Oh, Soul Foundry, thanks for the light snacks. That's something that I've got to think about, too. Not probably right now, but just about, what is it, 0.875 is the new theory, is that this will be tall enough. This will be the exact right height. Perfect. I got to think about how to, or what a new good, like, community goal would be, for the channel. Okay, so let's put this here. Let's put this maybe back a little bit. And can we put like a sign down who could be... Oh, no. Keep this locked onto the player. Definitely. Player, come with me. Be here. And let's put like a little object down that's just going to be like a sign. And we'll stick some dialogue to it. Hello! I'm secretly saving up the bear joke. Shh! Don't tell Piotr. What mechanics are in place? I'll show you in a second. We're making our little tutorial area right now. The mechanics that we have are... basically picking up... moving around items between inventories, throwing them in the world. We've got potions which are breakable, or which break when you throw them, and if they hit a wall, like that is of a certain material, like this potion is called copper to tin. If it hits a copper wall, it turns it into tin. And if you have something that is something to air, it will change that wall to, be deleted. So you can, right now, we can go copper to tin, tin to air to get rid of a copper wall. Okay, so we move the tutorial. Can we move the tutorial if we need to? Oh, you already want to move the tutorial? Why? We're just putting it in. We also have a little, we can put dialogue down, but right now the dialogue is going to be attached to our player's head. It's going to look like he's saying everything that happens, which is fine, but we should fix before we're done here. But fine for the moment while we're basically prototyping this out. So we're going to add a new object to zone 3, 2D object, just put in a square for the moment. Could this square please be not enormous? How big are these squares at? Okay. 1, 2, 5. No, I just think it's useful to know for later. Yes. So yeah, that's a good question. So the answer is yes, and we can actually pretty easily, if we wanted to move around our zones, we could do that. So we could move like a whole zone at a time pretty easily. The player doesn't come with it, but like we can move these building blocks. It'll be a little bit of work to like, because each zone basically says which zones that it links to, but that's easily done. So yeah, so if we want to move a room somewhere else, that's very doable. That's a good question. So this is going to be our sign. Let's just make it, I don't know, orange, brown for now. This will probably be an NPC ultimately, but that's fine. So we want to put this layer on the passable layer so that our player will walk through it. And then we can add a dialogue component to this. Nice. We'll give it one line. And it'll say, go get that potion. Once I understand better, I think I can design something. Okay, that's fair enough. Unfortunately, I didn't do any art. That's okay. I only have placeholder art right now, too. Go get that potion and throw it at the tin wall. Should we do all caps? Like we're... No. We'll do tin wall. This is our dialogue. Let's see if this... Oh, and this potion now needs to be actually not copper to tin. We should change this to tin to air. And look, we do our in material is tin, our out material is air. I can draw butterflies and centipedes. If you draw a butterfly or a centipede, we can find somewhere to put it in. How big is the main character art? The main character is 16 by 16, but this is not our final art. I just drew a little dude to be sort of illustrative. Illustrative? I don't know how to say that word. So we've got our wall. It says go get that potion and throw it at the tin wall. The potion is called tin to air just for our bookkeeping, although this won't be shown anywhere. Let's call this tin to air. To air source. Let's test this much. So Foundry, you can probably do that well for something in the wall block. 16 by 16, did you say? Yes. So I think that our NPCs will probably want to be taller. So this didn't... Why no... dialogue from our square? It has the square dialogue trigger, which is here. Is it because I put this on the passable layer? Layer's trigger should be hitting my player. I have one line of dialogue, which is here. So why you don't do the dialogue? Is it somewhere else? Foolish? Is it on our canvas? It's not being added to our canvas at all, so that's good to know. Soul Foundry says, I legit have been trolling my friends at work and otherwise about this idea for weeks. I legit am going to need to put my money where my mouth is soon enough. If you draw a nice 16 by 16 pixel butterfly or centipede, we'll find a place for it. Okay, so I can see here on the canvas that this text is not being added. Let's take a look at our other container where it did work and see if we can guess why that might be. Candle chest was on layer default. If I put this on layer default as well, will that work? Layer default. Is the problem the layers? First thing to try. No. Problem is not the layers. Am I looking at the wrong thing? This tin to air source has... Oh, I put the dialogue on the wrong thing. There's also a tin to air source here. Did I? Where did I put the dialogue? Uh-oh. No, it should be on the square. No, it's here. Okay. Layers default. We want this layer to be passable. Why are we not triggering this? Let's call this sign for now. 16 by 16 pixels? Okay. Okay. Ooh, it's fun. I just added this feature about an hour ago. And out of interest, if I were to, like, get this tin wall out of the way and just go over... Let's also get this out of the way for the moment. Go over to that chest. Will it do dialogue still? Or have I broken the dialogue somewhere else? There's the dialogue. Congratulations, have a candle. Works. It has the candle chest dialogue trigger. There it is. Does my sign have a dialogue trigger? When this starts up. Sign 1 dialogue trigger. Contacts? No contacts. Still no contacts. It's passing right through my player. What if I do something weird, like make this a container? Or make this a pick-upable, say. No, not a new script. We'll just make this a pick-upable. Will this work now? No. Still no. But I can pick it up. Okay, get rid of it being a pick-upable. We don't need that. Go get that potion, throw it at the tin wall. 1. And the reason is we know that it's not detecting that it's colliding with the player. The question is, why does it think that? Let's put the candle chest in zone 3. Make sure it's not something weird about the zones. The zone logic. Because we know this does dialogue. So we'll put this bad boy here. We know that this one works for some reason. I'm sure I'm forgetting some little step. Congratulations, have a candle. That totally works. I mean, we could just duplicate this chest. It's not... I mean, it's a bad idea, but it's not the worst idea in the world. Let's try it. Put the candle chest back in zone 1 where it belongs. But duplicate it. Bring it over here to zone 3. Come with me. I have a fiendish idea. We're going to get rid of the sprite. Nope. Can I just make it a white square? Square. There you go. Get rid of the candle in it. There's no way. If this works, I'll be furious. Make it not a pick-upable container. Make it not have an inventory. Let's see. Does this work? Can you imagine? I hope that this doesn't work. Good. Okay, so something about it being... Okay, we're going to try to do this by the scientific method. If this has a pick-upable container on it, and an inventory on it, then does this work? That does work. Huh. Why? Why? Oh. You know, there might be an early return here. Well, no, they said there's no collision, right? But let's look at our player. My new idea is that the player script is returning early somewhere if something is not a container. Here's our... So we've got the container. If the container is not null, then we open. Open container is collided container. Collider has the dialogue. If the dialogue's not null, then dialogue.add text. That looks good. That seems fine. Okay, I've got it. So the collider.gameObject.getComponentDialog. I got it. So the problem is the... Nope, I'm wrong. Collider... Okay, I got it. Check it out. So the reason this is working when we add the inventory is because I believe the inventory is its own, like, it's assumed that you'll be able to walk through this, and so this is its own trigger, right? We added a separate box to be the trigger for the dialogue, like an invisible box around this, and what we're doing is we're checking to see if this box has dialogue, but it doesn't have dialogue, its parent object has the dialogue. And so what we'll do to fix this, I got it now. What we're going to do to fix this is, instead of looking for dialogue on the thing that we're colliding with, we're going to look for dialogue on the parent. So we'll say if collider.gameObject. So we're trying to get the parent object of this thing. Parent is not equal null. We could also fix this by just not having a separate collider for the dialogue. We may do this later. So if this is a child object, then we check if its parent has dialogue. If the parent has dialogue, then we'll show it on screen. Will this fix this bug? And if not, we can rage. So what we want to do here is, for this candle chest, we're going to remove pickupable container, remove this inventory, and just call this sign. 1. And it will tell us, congratulations, have a candle, hopefully, if we fix this bug correctly. Yeah! Okay, cool. Oh, but then it didn't go away because we need to do the same thing for the for when we stop colliding with this. Easy peasy. So we just wrap that same condition around here. Main character sent. Oh my god. Okay, we'll take a look in a second. And we'll try to add him in ASAP. Oh, I gotta open Discord here. We might not be able... I'll have to think about it a little bit. I'm not 100% that Discord is installed on this computer. We'll see. It must be, right? If not, we can do a little workaround to get that here. Okay, so if the parent is not null, then we do the parent.transform, or .transform .parent get component dialog, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now we should be able to make signs. They should work. This should unblock us writing our tutorial. Good lord. Congratulations, have a candle. That works. Great. Okay. Back to what we were actually doing. Mercy. Let's make the sign brown just for the moment. We'll have a real sprite for it later. But for the moment, just so we know that it's kind of like a sign or something, we'll make it brown. We'll put it here. Let's get our wall. So the nice thing is the way that we are changing the color of platforms, we should be able to put like a black and white sprite down, or like a gray scale sprite down, and basically dye it different colors. I'm not 110% how good it will look, but it should be fine. Okay, let me see if I've got Discord here. Oh, I do. Am I going to dox myself? You know what we're going to do? We're going to go to... I'm going to do this on another screen. Just in case. Open it on the other screen. Cool. Just so I'm not doxing myself. Just in case. Wait for it. Is it going to tell me to update Discord? Because I've never done that. Oh, it is updating Discord. Well, look, we can start writing this dialogue for the moment. So it's going to say, go get a potion, or take a potion from the container. And we'll say they're unlimited. Take a potion from the container. They're unlimited. And we can put another sign down that's going to say... So actually what we're going to do is... Check it out. Nope, not the camera. Can I make it so the camera is, like, locked or something? That's fine. Take the player. Put him over here real quick. Take the tin to air source. Move that here. No, we need our sign before that. So sign's going to be here. So we see that first. Then you see the tin to air source. Do we need any dialogue? These are 2 frames of animation. They go very fast to give it a cool effect. Okay. We'll see about that. We might need more here too. Let me see this. I've got this loaded up now. The Witch! Ooh, actually very cool. Do you want to allow downloads? I do. Downloading through Safari, that's kind of weird. So here's our first sign. It's just going to say, take a potion from the container. They're unlimited. We might need to say, like, click or something. Let's duplicate this sign and have a sign 2. Which says, throw the container. Throw the potion at the tin wall with Q. And we'll put this sign down right here. Boom. First puzzle. Right, so it's like, take a potion from the container. They're unlimited. We grab a tin to air. It says, throw the potion at the tin wall with Q. And we've seen that it's tin to air, so hopefully that's enough for us to know that tin to air will remove that. First puzzle. And if you get that far, you're already a puzzle genius in my book. Let me see. What file type is this? Pixel? Can you send me this? Oh, I see. You did actually send me this as a different file type. Let me save image. Unable to save image preview. Okay, that's fine. Can I just have these files somehow? Open. Original. Ah, there we go. That'll do. Save image to downloads for now. We'll have to split those into 2 things in a second. So yeah, so eventually we want these probably not to be signs, but to be like cool monks. But that's fine. For the moment, let's make this... that can be 2, but let's make it a skinny boy platform like the other ones. This will have its color changed on startup, so it's fine that it looks a little weird right now. That's kind of a weird, slightly different color. Why do those look like they're not... I guess they're not flush. This is okay to be in zone 2. And we'll say some potions. Change the material of objects. So let's copy our sign. Put it into zone 2. Move it over here. Change it to sign 3. And we'll say some potions. Change the material of objects in the world. Oh boy, we're gonna need more like dialogue and stuff here, but it's okay. Does this have the copper wall? Is not here, so put the copper wall into zone 2. This will similarly need to be shorter. What do we call this? 0.875? And this potion actually needs to be changed too, right? Because this isn't tin to air anymore. This needs to be copper to tin. And we can change the in material to copper, the out material to tin. It is unlimited. Good. Good. And then you're out. I guess you can take the dialogue off of this chest. Say some items are limited and will not break when thrown. Is this all still in zone? We should have changed it. Yeah, this is all still in zone 2. That's fine. Let's make... Oh, so the candle chest needs to be moved to zone 2. It's going to be a lot of this. Let's copy that, duplicate that sign. We'll call it sign 4. And we'll say... some items are limited, but will not break when thrown. And then we'll say, pick up a dropped item with E, maybe. And that's our sign 4. Let's move that here. Oh, and an interesting design for our character. It is also designed a little inspired by Elden Ring. I'm playing with gold coloring. Okay, I gotta take a closer look at that in a second. This wall, or this floor 1, should really be part of zone 2. It doesn't super matter, but it should be. It could be zone 1 safely. It probably wouldn't be a big problem, but just do it this way. We'll also put another sign that says pick up dropped items with E. And then we'll try to put our character in. The quality will be bad when imported, so we're basically going to blow them up. So I asked for 16 by 16, but we're going to blow it up to 128 by 128. And hopefully that will look sharp when we do that, but we'll see. Okay, so dialogue lines, pick up dropped items. You can pick up dropped items. You can pick up items from the world with E. And we put quotes, single quotes around it because that is the standard that we created. So we'll just put this right after here. Okay, let's just take a look at our little tutorial so far. Take a potion from the container. They're unlimited. So we can grab as many as we want. And the sign says, throw the potion at the tin wall with Q. We do it. I get some potions change the material of objects in the world. So we can take copper to tin. We need to know how to select an item. How to select which is our active item. But that kind of works. Some items are limited but will not break when thrown. You can pick up items from the world with E. Okay, so we need to tell people to use the number keys to choose an active item. So let's actually move this over here. We're gonna move this bad boy here. We're gonna duplicate sign 3. Call this, I guess. Oh no! The numbering! We'll just call it sign 6. That's fine. And we'll say press 1 through 6. Uh, 1 through 5, Lord. Keys to change your active item. And let's also change. I mean, we can tighten up this dialogue later, I guess. But let's just call this with Q key. And then where's the one about the E key? Is that sign 5? All right. So we're playing through. We're a dumb person who's never heard of this game. We didn't read the description. We're playing it for the first time. Take a potion from the container. They're unlimited. It's gonna need to be really obvious that this is the container. Tin to air. And we can say, maybe we can say click on here. We can add some dialogue to this container. I made the best 16 by 16 butterfly of all time. Really, of all time. If I want to try to send it to you, send it your way, how would I do that? The best way probably would be to, so in the channel description or on our channel page, there's like a Discord server. It probably would be best to post there. By default, you can only post if you are a subscriber, but I can make you be, I can make you able to post. We made a role for people to post if they're not subscribers, if they are OGs, which I would consider you to be. Some potions change the material of objects in the world. That's just kind of like, we put that policy in place because at some point we would have to do that. And so better to have that be established from the beginning, kind of as a rule. I have a prime sub, no worries. Okay, cool. Some items are limited, will not break when thrown. You can pick up items from the world with the E key. Okay, and now we can just make our game. Can you believe that? So this is our tutorial area. Right now, we need to, let's actually add one more thing, which is on this tin to air source. Let's add dialogue here. That is going to be, just have one dialogue line that will say, click on the item icon to take one. And we might put this sign a little, we might move this container a little further away. It should be fine for us to be overlapping multiple things because they each have their own text, but take a potion from the container. They're unlimited. Click on the item icon to take one. Boom. We might make item icon also capitalized. Throw the potion at the tin wall with the Q key. Some potions change the material of objects in the world. Press 1 to 5 keys to change your active item. Some items are limited but will not break when thrown. These will be fun joke items, I guess, primarily. You can pick up items from the world with the E key. Now we need to tell people to jump, right? So really, we actually need even another sign that's just going to say, like, press WASD to move. Move with WASD. Move and jump with WASD. That's what we'll do. And we'll call this sign 0. This is the numbering scheme. We'll say move and jump. D keys. And that'll be, you will be hitting that right away. And we'll make our player be up above it to start. Jump with WASD keys. Take a potion from the container. They're unlimited. Okay. We should probably put this potions change the material of objects in the world. That should just be here. That should be part of this sign. Or something. Here's what I want to do. This thing, it's sign 3 that's in zone 2. Move this to zone 3. Swap these. Yes. Move and jump with the WASD keys. Cool. Take a potion from the container. They're unlimited. Click on the icon to take one. Some potions change the material of objects in the world. Throw the potion at the tin wall with the Q key. Boom. Oh, we can call it throw the tin to air potion. Copper to tin. Press 1 to 5 to change your active item. Boom. Now you're a puzzle genius. Some items are limited but will not break when thrown. You can pick up items from the world with the E key. And we should put an item down here for you to pick up, if you desire. So let's just add one real quick. We'll go... And then I swear we'll do the player sprite. Zone 2, let's 2D object. Oh, can I just duplicate something that already exists? Like the candle. Copy. Paste. It's just going to save us a little bit of time. Put the yellow candle into zone 2. We're going to call this... It shouldn't be a candle. Let's make it a... Okay, it'll be a candle for now. We'll call this other candle. We'll fix this. These shouldn't be candles. Ultimately. There's our tutorial, I reckon. Okay, let's take a look at this PNG that got sent to me. Let me open this up. Oh, I see. Okay, open with a sprite. I like the yellow robes. I'm actually a big fan. Okay, let's do it like this. So we know these are 16 by 16, so let's go. Sprite. Canvas size? Okay, let's go. Save as, and we're gonna put this in. Let me just move this over here real quick while we get the save location right. So we're gonna call this player 0. 0 and 1 are gonna be our walking right, or walking left, I guess, and 2 and 3 will be our walking right. Player 1. Can I flip this bad boy? Oh yeah. We'll call this player 2. Can I delete... Is this on its own layer? No. Okay. Shoot. Where was my... Okay, the ponytail was right at the back. Oh, you know what? I may have beans this. Hold up. I joined Discord, but can't seem to send anything. Okay, let me take a look at that in just a second. That's a problem. This will be player 1. So we'll need to do a little bit of code to actually make the player change direction. We won't do that right now. We'll just put in one of these sprites and make the facing and the animation work in a little bit. Maybe off stream. TBH. Edit. Sprite rotate. Flip that bad boy. And make this player 3, right? I think that did it. So if we go to our resources, look at player 0. Ah, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to make them all bigger. Okay, that's okay. So this is what we're going to do. Easily fixed. Although maybe we're going to want to write a script to do this more automagically if we are making a bunch of sprites. Let's go... Open up all of our player files. Do you want to do them as an animation? No. And for each of these, we're just going to make it bigger. Sprite, properties. Nope, sprite size. 128 by 128. Okay. Save it. Same thing here. It's right size. Okay, I promise I'll take a look at this in a second, Soul Foundry. Thank you for being patient. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to your person here. You're all good. I'm doing nothing today. Okay. Let's give you a roll. I think that will be an easy way to maybe address this. Rolls, you are now a secretary of being an OG. You should be able to post now. That should override you needing a sub even. Okay, look. Now all our players are much bigger, which is good. That's what we want. And let's make our player have one of these icons instead of the one that we have now. So we'll do like... Yepper, thank you. Perfect. And so there's a Game Jams channel, yeah, where we're posting about the project. Let's do this. All right, so we've got our little player. We got to do something about this overlap with the floor. I'm not quite sure why that's happening. It didn't happen when I was a box. Okay, so again, we grab the item. Oh, these were so slippery. No, right, that's why we need to know which way we're facing. That's why it's important for us to not be sent. Let's see here. I'll check in again in a moment. Okay. Copper to tin, shoot, and then tin to air. Some items are limited, will not break when thrown. Great. You can pick up items from the world with E. And there's our other candle. And we can have both even. Yellow candle and other candle. This is my fix for not wanting text names to overlap. They go up and down to not overlap. There's a comment in the code to do something smarter than that. Okay, let's see. Did this get sent? I actually don't see it in the Game Jams channel. Oh, wait. No. Maybe it's like uploading? Well, it should just be like an image. I'm not sure. I actually don't see the file still. Okay, so let's take inventory of what we have here. Talking of inventories, I'm gonna go to text edit. Oh, there it is. I see it now. Ah, wonderful. That's definitely a butterfly. We can find a place to use a butterfly. Maybe we can make it like a potion ingredient or something. I had to hit enter. I'm dumb. Ah, no worries. No worries. We've all been there. Okay, so what we have so far is, let's say, mechanics implemented and to do. So the implemented ones, we have items. Items can be pick upable, can go in containers, they can also be thrown. Maybe break. Maybe change materials. Also have platforms. Platforms have materials. Our player has, we have containers. Hold 1 or 3 items. Items can be unlimited. And we also have, platforms have materials, and we could say, if turned to air, are removed. Can make this wider as well. We can make this slightly smaller probably, eh? So containers items can be unlimited. We've also got dialogue. Can be attached to any object. Can store multiple lines and proceed through them linearly. I think let's keep that the same. I don't think let's try to have like dialogue trees or anything. We'll make it so you can advance dialogue with somebody, but they shouldn't there shouldn't be like, yeah, anything more complicated than that. Nothing is doing this right now, but you could. It's supported in the code. Okay, so to do. Let's look at what we've got here. So, random, really random, but Ulrich Schnaus, between us and them, is a similar sound to whatever you're playing. I'm playing lo-fi chilled beats, royalty-free and copyright-free music for creators, October edition. I'll post this in the chat. If you're, I doubt, that is from, oh, I'm not allowed to post because I'm not really on Twitch. Okay, well, this is what I'm listening to. Lo-fi chilled beats, royalty-free and copyright-free music for creators. That's that's where we are. Okay, so to do things that we want to do still. I think we can. Oh, and also player. Player can pick up to 5 items. Can throw items. Move. Double jump. And we can say number of jumps is configurable. Honestly, throwing strength is configurable. Speed is configurable. So when I say configurable, I mean we could update these from gameplay. Double jump is a requirement, IMO. Yeah, so we can double jump now. I think we need some kind of an item that is going to give us a double jump. I don't think we should be able to double jump initially. Increasing the number of jumps that we have feels like a good way to open up new areas that we can't get to originally. So let's actually put that in to do. We'll say, let's start with items. Items. This is a good one. Rock's feather kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. Like some kind of a feather item or something. So we'll say carried item changes player configuration. So this is something that I think we could probably add today if we wanted, but for instance, that would be increasing the number of jumps. So you'd pick up something that's like the feather or the talisman or whatever that makes you jump higher. Do I want any other item stuff right now? That's kind of the only... Well, no, that's not true. Let's do materials and say partial materials, i.e. we want to be able to do tin to some kind of symbol like X to air, right? And then we'll go on platforms. So we'll say also item, containers. Well, we put this on containers, right? Teleportation items like the books and mist. Ooh, that's not actually a bad idea. We could probably do that pretty easily. I like that idea because it feels easy to implement. Let's see. So let me work through my list first, but let's just put that on. Let's say teleports. It's also gonna be implemented in a similar way to something else that we are going to add here. So we'll say containers can combine items. This is something that I want to do. I would put this as like a maybe though right now. Just like we should focus on building out a game. I.e. tin to X plus X to air. Tin to air. I'm gonna probably do this between streams, but I think having some kind of way to combine stuff. Containers should totally make potions for floor/door unlocks. Yeah, so right now we're unlocking doors by like removing the door by turning it into air. I think that's probably the way to do it. yeah, just because I got to keep in mind, I'm so excited about it, but I got to keep in mind that this is all due on Tuesday. Although we can overlap it. If we don't turn it in on time, that's not a big deal. Okay, so teleports, maybe, just because it feels easy. I want, so for platforms, I will say have sinking and floating positions move between sinking and floating based on material. Due on Tuesday for who? For the game jam that we're entering, which is kind of why it doesn't really matter. It'd be nice to try to turn it in for that, but if we didn't, it would really not be the end of the world. Do we need anything else? Dialogue. Okay, so the other thing that I want to do is for containers, I want to do maybe can trade items, which I think is similar to combining items. But basically the idea is we want to be able to have an NPC who says, if you bring me this, I'll give you this thing, and do like a little trading quest. So we'll say like, i.e. coin to jump feather. Oh, I see. We are on a crunch then for sure. Yeah. Other things that we might need, some kind of checkpoint item that you can respawn back to, basically just in case you get stuck. So that if we accidentally build something where you can get in a stuck point, you can go back to somewhere that we know is safe. And then maybe, yeah, we probably want to do this. Areas that send you back. Let's just focus on making one really good level then. I think that's I think that's a good idea. Areas that send you back to checkpoint. And so when I said teleports are similar, this is kind of what I was thinking of, yeah. And so the idea will be, the idea will be that we'll have basically the whole platforms that float and sink. I want platforms that are in water that move between floating and sinking positions. And if you go in the water, you get sent back to some kind of a checkpoint. So, these are, I think, all the things that we want to do. We got a lot. We can either do this, or we can start to try to lay out the level and basically like fake some of these things. Because we've got access to the editor. If we want to like remove a door, move a platform around, we can kind of fake that while we're testing our level before we implement the feature. But actually, let's do this. It's a lot, but we got this. Let's map the level. Okay, cool. That seems not like a bad idea. So let's start with this zone here. So you leave your tutorial. I think that we want some kind of an open. We want an area with multiple ways to go, right? So let's make some little stairs down, and we'll have stairs up too in our zone 1. So let's make this be like our steps down, and we'll duplicate these a bunch of times. This is sort of in zone 1, right? Oh, it's totally in zone 1. Perfection. So let's make like a way you can go down here, and then also a way you can go up here. Will we be able to make this jump? With a single jump. Let's find out. This wall wouldn't go here, though. Let's see. Oh, we can drop our player right in that. We don't have to walk through this. Hold up. Unity, don't crash, please. Let's just put our player, instead of playing through the whole game over and over, let's just drop our player right at the part that we want to test. That seems like a smarter thing to do. Okay, so with one jump, can I make that? No, not even remotely. Does that mean that my one jump needs to be higher? Can I get there with a double jump? Yes, but these controls need a lot of work. But it can be done. But not with a single jump? Confirmed. Okay. We can... So that means either our single jump needs to be higher is probably what we need. Fortunately, that's an easy thing to configure. We can go to our player. which is here. And right up at the top, we've got our jump speed. Let's just double that bad boy and see what happens. Unfortunately, we'll have to compile. That's the one thing we try to do differently this time, is have lots of things that can be configured from the editor instead of having to recompile code whenever we're changing stuff. Whoa! Wow! Okay, that's a heck of a jump. Maybe double was too much. I don't know. I didn't expect that, I'll be honest. I thought doubling the jump force would make us jump twice as high, but it's actually like 10 times as high. What if we do it by add 50%? That feels more modest. Okay. And let's set our starting number of jumps to 1. So we've got our max jumps. This should totally be... This can be private, but it should start as 1. Actually, it needs to be public. I'm wrong. This isn't a constant, but it will be configurable, maybe? The comment says, changes back to 1 if you hate fun. Double jumps are gold! Haha. We'll save them. We'll save them. So maybe that means we need to, focus on making items that we can use to change our player. Try to bring this in a little closer just so it's easy to see. I wonder if it's a mistake to make these all as separate rectangles. It should be fine. We're unloading stuff in zones that's kind of not being used. Or, like, if you're far away from a zone, all the stuff gets unloaded, but still. What does this do for us? All compiler errors. Oh, shoot. Because I changed the name of max jumps to not have an underscore when I made it public. So let's go fix that everywhere else. Just here. Really? Ooh, you know what? Okay, it can be done, but it's a little annoying. Look at that throw. Okay. Let's just make this boy bigger. And by bigger, I mean taller. Is tomorrow when the mustache goes to 100 mode? Maybe? If I can grow my mustache a lot between now and then. Or are you just asking if I'm gonna trim the stubble? Actually, this, I'm wrong about this. Let's make this like this. And we'll make, oh no. Do we need zones that go down? No, just... Okay, a zone is going to be literally a vertical slice of the level. That's my new rule that I just invented. Because I don't... Unless it becomes a problem. Until it becomes a problem, that's what we'll do. Huh. We'll see how it goes. Why would it become a problem? It would become a problem if too many things are loaded in at once, and that somehow causes an issue. I don't have a good frame of reference for whether that will be whether that's something that we need to worry about, but it's kind of been in the back of my mind. Actually, let's just make this. Let's just design how tall the map will be. For now, we're gonna say that this is gonna go up to 64 for all of these, and boy, it's gonna look stretched, but that's just the way it's gonna be for the moment. Again, these are all placeholder stuff. Oh, you know what's really funny? That's stretched all the items, too. Of course! That's exciting. I didn't expect that, but I probably should have. Okay, yes, that actually really didn't fix our problem because all the items just got really tall. So far, they're passing judgment. I can legit grow a soul patch and that's it. My uncle called it my flavor saver. Whatever flavor that is gross. Whatever it is. I think you're gonna wear a mustache well. Thanks. Yeah, it's gotta grow in still. I'm probably gonna keep it for like a month. So that will hopefully be enough time. This is like the lightest mustache I felt comfortable appearing in public at all with. It also doesn't help that my mustache is kind of red and just lighter than my hair color, but that's mainly just an excuse that I'm making. Okay, so how do I do this without scaling every goddamn thing in here as well? Oh my god, is that why everything is in... Oh my word. Can I... So really what that means is we need to make these backgrounds bigger. We will do that at a different time. But leave everything alone. Don't change the scale. I realized that I overlooked the fact that the zones are kind of scaling everything because their like scale is 8 by 8, and that's why like when you look at like the wall, it's like 1/4 by 1/8 because everything is being scaled up. We shouldn't mess with it. We shouldn't mess with the scale. When we want to make these bigger, we will just make these... Actually, this is what we can do. I know what we can do. Okay, I know how we can address this. Open recent, zone 1. Just keep growing it in. Like I said, I can grow nada. When I grow in my goatee, everyone says Evil Soul Foundry has arrived. I truly look like Jafar. It's a good way to live. Nothing wrong with that. Open recent. Also get me zone 2. Also get me zone 3. Watch what we're going to do. We're going to basically do what we tried to do a second ago, but do it from here. So sprite size, so instead of the height being 256, let's just multiply that by like 8. 2048. And it's going to be mega stretched, but that's fine for the moment. Sprite size. Okay. I could have done a 256 by... I can do a 256 by 256 butterfly. Yeah, that's one of the things we'll need to do. Probably tomorrow, because we're going to work on this tomorrow as well. I'll try to come in with, like, a wanted list for all the sprites we're going to need. My god, we got a lot to do. Okay. What am I doing? Sprite size. Okay, and then these should all get really tall. Wham! Great. Good enough, is what I say to that. This gives us some space to build in anyway. Okay, so let's copy another floor. We should just pocket this a year long. Just make this a year long, always going project. Maybe so. I think that, you know, one of the, I guess, appeals to me about doing a game jam project is that it is, like, short-lived in a weird way. Nope. Just because then we can, like, do a lot of different things, you know, and kind of take the lessons that we've learned. Because I don't really know how to use Unity. We're kind of figuring it out as we go. So being able to do lots, you know, start over with a new project periodically is nice too. But similarly, we could also just go longer than 1 month. Especially because this month has ended up being way busier than I expected. Just like due to truly terrible timing. Aha, you're like my writer friend who does NaNoWriMo or whatever it is. Do you know what that is? Yes, my mother did NaNoWriMo. She wrote a detective novel about like a psychic detective, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool, IMO. But I'm familiar. I've never attempted it myself, but I am aware of what it is, I guess. Can I... Okay, so we're just trying to make a junction here, basically. You see what we're doing. Is it going to be a huge pain to navigate this world? I think I kind of am worried that the answer is yes. I love it. I never did it either. I've touched butterflies and centipedes. Got them. Alright, I don't have double jump anymore. Okay, we got to make the jump higher if that's going to be the height of the step. Because this is annoying right now. Let's go to our... I'd rather just make the jump way too high, TBH. For the moment... Zip. Bring me up here. Jump force. Jump speed. 10. Make it easy. Give me too much jump. I'd rather have... And let's bring our max speed... Nah, max speed's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So where are we going to go? Let's make some puzzles and stuff. IDK. Maybe we could put a door right here. So again, the ultimate goal of this game is supposed to be to turn... Okay, this feels a little better. Although we can super jump. But I don't mind super jumping. If I'm honest. No. I don't know what to do from here. Okay, so we've got these potions we can get. Should we put, like, another... I mean, we could put up, like, another tin door here. Super jump is much better than feeling immobile. Agreed, yeah. I think that's a good... Just a good instinct there, yeah. Let's make this... Ooh, I really regret scaling everything up by 8. But if I scale it down, I'm going to have to change all the movement and stuff. It'll be a nightmare. We won't do it, but we'll live with this other nightmare instead. This can be 2.5. Nope. 0.5. So there's another tin door here, and you'll be like, oh, tin door, I've seen that before. Or tin wall. I can get rid of the tin wall by using my tin to air potion, but I'll have to go back, and that's going to be a huge part of this game, is backtracking constantly. And hating the game's designer, aka me. I don't know, I already have so many regrets. Let's take a look. Oh wait, actually this won't work from this side. So the other thing we can do is it's relatively easy for us to add more materials and add transitions between materials as well. All right, let's pretend I'm me. Over here, playing the beginning of the game. Maybe we'll make a part that's just like a little jumping puzzle. Tin to air, copper to tin. And then it'll be like, oh, I got candles, that's fun. I can throw a candle around like an absolute maniac. Oh, shoot, a tin... Boy, that looks really good right there. A tin wall. Let's go. Let's see if we can fix that, because I remember tin to air potion. And then maybe we'll have a little jumping puzzle in here. So we're going to need a new zone. Oh my god, a new zone. What's the right way to do this? I guess just make a new game object, a sprite that's a square, but it's not really gonna... Oh my god, this is our zone 4. Oh, you know what I really regret? Is counting backwards here. This is zone 1, 2, 3. Let's... So, okay. If we really want them to hate us, we'll make them read a page of lore on each stage. Ah, genius. That's it. The final puzzle is reading the crossword puzzle. Okay, 0. Oh my god, I shouldn't have done this. 375. We'll make this the right height, right? And then we can jam this in pretty much perfectly. Take this guy, put it here. Wham. Okay. So this is our new zone, allegedly. Zone 0. You know what? F it. Zones will be... We'll have zone -1 and everything. This is what I'm going to do, though. We're renaming the zones. I don't think it will cause a problem. I think the pointers will be updated correctly. Let us make sure that that's the case. So this is zone 2. Does zone 2 now point to zone 1? Yes, it does. Okay, good. Cool. That's just going to make our lives a little bit easier, I think. Nope, take that out of here. Canvas should always be either at the top or at the bottom. Let's just put this here above everything else. So the canvas is where our UI elements live, crucially. Zone 0, you should now be called Zone 4. That's your name. And you absolutely cannot belong to a different zone. Please. Event system can also go under the canvas. Okay, Zone 4. So check it out. Zone 4 needs a sprite. It is going to be literally any of the zone sprites. I do not care which one. I regret making them... Hello, why are there all these weird sprites that aren't mine? What? I don't want these. Okay, well, I'm gonna do this like this. That's weird as hell. Zone just be... How can I... Fine, zone 1, good enough. And then it needs to be 8 by 8 because I'm a fool. It doesn't really need to be 8 by 8, does it? It does. Am I wrong? Could I change these all to be 1 by 1? It's fine. We'll live with it. So here's our zone 4. It's here. It's this big slice. Zone -1? Yeah, we might have a zone -1 over here. It could happen. So the crucial thing is we need to link up these zones, right? So zone... Wait. 2? No! How did I do this wrong? This should be zone 2. This should be zone 1. Or this should be zone 1 still. This can be zone 0. Right? All the way on the left? How did I F this up so bad? Please. Don't make it a child of player. Just getting organized here. Please. Please. So zone 0 is the one there. Zone 1, the next one over. Zone 2, the next one over. Zone 2 needs to go to... This should be zone 3. Okay, fine. Fine. Mercy. Oh, there's going to be a lot of this fun stuff. Zone 3 needs to be a zone. And its left zone needs to be zone 2. And then zone 2's right zone needs to be zone 3 to make sure that they load and unload correctly. All right, mercy. Okay, let's have fun. Let's actually do something interesting and make a little jumping puzzle. Duplicate this floor because everybody loves a jumping puzzle. So we'll need like steps going back up, right? Can I like select, copy, paste, and then take these stairs? Oh yeah! I demand spikes and death. I just decided that. We actually should have, we could do that. I think that will help us too. Let's implement that in, look at this, in just a sec. I think that is something we're gonna need to like even do this out, to even like plan this out. I mean, is this jump gonna be possible? Where's my little boy? Come over here, you. Try this jumping puzzle. We're also gonna double check that they're in the right zone. My current zone is zone 2. That's actually not correct. I'm supposed to be in zone 3, I think. Which makes me a little nervous. Okay. What if we move this up? So this is gonna be the jumping puzzle with low consequence. If you fall, you just walk back and climb back up here. Why do you think you're in zone 2, player? That's incorrect. Is it because I've confused left and right? Players starting zone is zone 2. Okay, put them in zone 3, I guess, as their current zone. Huh! It can be done. Oh, you know what? So if I fall off of something, I have a jump. So that's a mechanic. That's a... It's not a mistake. It's a mechanic. It's like I can do a longer jump here by doing this. And what a long jump. And then we'll make some spikes and stuff. It's coming. I want the player to look at this and be like, how? All these things are supposed to be in zone 3. Will it work? Is this too hard of a jumping puzzle to have from the start? Probably. And you know what the worst part is? I can't see where I'm going. Spikes and death? Good game. Oh, actually, I can almost see it. We should be able to see it here. Ooh, that's kind of a problem. That I can... I can jump further than I can see. I would consider to be a bit of an issue. I mean, it's not a huge problem here because I can, like, see that this floor is safe. And I can see that... Does that mean everything needs to be more zoomed out? I actually think that we can make that happen. If I look at the camera, I'm sure I'm going to regret this, but... Can I? Yeah, but it is kind of not fun for the gamer. Right, agreed. We want to be able to see everything. What if I go like Z -20? Is that a bigger screen? Did that do anything? No. That's not doing anything. How can I size? Oh, that'll do it. What if we make this like an 8? I like seeing where I'm going. I think that's pretty reasonable. No! These controls are so bad. We made a decision early on to use the physics engine for like the controls. The idea being that we would maybe want to be able to like apply force to the character, like have a bouncy area or something. Actually, bouncy material, not a bad idea. But it's meant that all of the controls are really hard to tune. So I just like have to define how much force that I jump with, and it's really hard to be like, okay, what does that mean? What does that actually translate to in terms of the gameplay? Out of interest, what does our beginning look like now with the big camera? Please, don't bring the player too. It'll probably be fine, but. Jump and move with WASD to keys. Take a potion from the container. They're unlimited. Some potions change the material of objects in the world. Throw the potion at the tin wall with the Q key. We got to think about the text too. That might mean changing the... that's not so bad. It does really bring out the density of like little signs here. Really is being brought to my attention, but that's probably fine. It's probably fine. How far do I jump? It's a jump. It's a jump, all right. How do we fix this? I mean, this helps. Oh, tin to air. Okay, we've got tin to air. No, I missed the thing. We also need some kind of better indication for what is being hit by a potion. Get that candle out of here. This is what I want to do here. I want to make this taller. And this platform higher up. This is an easier target. Let's put another floor about the same distance apart. Here maybe. I can make this longer. And then have another one that's going to be in the next zone that can bleed over a little bit. That's fine. But that means we need another zone. We need a zone 4. Hopefully there will come a time, if we keep the levels really vertical, hopefully there will come a time when we're not adding zones constantly. Actually, if I duplicate this, is that going to duplicate all the children too? I guess I could just remove them. Zone 3 changes to Zone 4. The one on the left needs to be Zone 3. Please change this to Zone 4. Please actually change the name. And then Zone 3's one on the right is Zone 4. Boom. Cool. This has nothing in it yet, but that's okay. It will soon. Move this to Zone 4. Move this over. Oh, this is kind of fun. No! It didn't work. I guess we'll find out how big we can make these levels before bad things start to happen. Oh, paste as child is what I want. Ah, cool. This is now Zone 4. Boom. This guy here should also be Zone 4. And then we need... Oh, Zone 4 needs a sprite, right? Oh, it has one. Uh-oh. I can fix this. Let's get one of these walls. It's kind of fun, actually. It's just like paste things around. This a little lower. Make this like a... We gotta make sure that we can't just jump up there. Make this like a Y1. Wait, where's my player? He's in totally the wrong place. No! Zone 4 just needs to be brought up. Oh, a little bit. I can fix this. So we could copy an entire zone if we wanted to be exceptionally lazy, which is something that we did have cause to do a few times in the last game jam we did. We took some very lazy shortcuts. So it could happen. It could happen. Probably not. Probably not something that we're going to want to do, but we'll see. Okay, let's bring our player over there. First test is I shouldn't be able to jump up there. Good. No. No. God, I'm so floaty. It's kind of a problem. I mean, the control is exceptionally bad. It really does not feel very good to move this little guy around. But there you go. It can be done, though. It is going to be a big problem when we're double jumping. Let's bring the jump down a little bit. And I'm also going to make this a config... what do we put this at before? 8? Let's see what that does for us. And then we should do checkpoints and death. I think we should put those 2 things in next. If we have those things, it should be very easy to do teleporters. No, I'm too short. But honestly, I like that jump distance better. So let's just put in some more platforms. Let's fix this way. And this way, I think, because what I want to be able to do is clearly communicate to the player later that they are not able to jump somewhere with their current jump distance, right? And you want people to see a platform that's far away. That's a little overkill. And be like, oh no, I'm going to need something to jump that far. That's what the thought that I want to go through the player's head. Look at how we fix this jumping puzzle. Oh, so dumb. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, is it a... Look, it's not the most challenging puzzle ever. And I can go up these stairs fine. Let's make this boy a little shorter. This game's gonna look real rough. Just even when we put in kind of more permanent graphics. Slash, I guess if and when we do. Okay, good enough. And if you fall because you're some kind of huge non-gamer, this is where you'll go. Maybe we can put something down there so people will be like, oh, what is that? And they'll go and it'll be like a little item or something. Let's make something that kills you. I guess if you think about it, if we write a teleporter as... So if instead of setting rough but tough puzzles... Oh yeah! Just, I don't want to purposely waste people's time. Although I do think a good last mechanic, if we have time, is to just put a timer on top that shows you how long it takes you to play. Oh, we also need to communicate what the actual goal is, right? Which is to turn something into gold that's made of lead. Whoops, I did forget about that. So let's do this like this. We're going to move these things over. Timers are the perfectionist nightmare. Exactly. There's no goal attached to it. You don't have to be, do it within a certain amount of time. Nothing like that. But just if you want to. If you want to. So let's put a new sign down in... Can I see... So one thing was before we had the zones be different colors, which helped. I guess this is still in... Just start a timer at the beginning of your game. Do it! Yeah, we should do this. Agreed. This is still basically in zone 1, right? Let's put another sign in here. And we'll say... Sign, I don't know. Numbering the signs is a mistake. Sign 7 says... Easter egg. No reason. No reason at all. Turn the statue. You gotta turn the statue into gold. To win. And we should say that it's lead. Lead statue into gold to win. Which means we need new materials. But fortunately, you'll see how cool and easy and fun it is. And great and beautiful and perfect. And awesome. It will be to add new materials. Let's just put an item in here. Surrounded by mercury. We could do mercury would be a fun thing. Okay. Oh, I didn't finish my thought, I think, before. But what I was sort of eventually getting around to saying was, nope. Don't forget. Don't lose your train of thought again, Petey. Don't do it twice. Was that we should, instead of having a checkpoint that like the player has a current checkpoint at any given time, we should just make it that obstacles that kill the player send them back to a particular checkpoint. Always the same. So like you don't have to like activate this, activate a checkpoint somewhere and then wherever you die you go back there. Each obstacle will have a particular checkpoint that it sends you back to, and then teleporters are kind of the same as that if you think about it. I think will just be a cheaty way to make our lives a little bit easier. Let's switch these numbers. We're gonna make this platform here. Is this way too tall? So this is our statue, and we're going to make it out of lead. So let's make a new material. So we open up our little library that we wrote, materials, and you can see we want to add lead. Boom, lead. Lead needs a color. So say material.lead, new color. Can I freestyle this? Probably not. Copper is 740 RGB. What if this was 047? Will this be... Actually, no. It'll probably need to be no green, yes, some red to make it purpley. Let's find out if it worked. And then the last thing we need to do is take this platform that we've just called statue, and we'll say material is lead. And will it get the color that it needs? And also, can I move my little man to be there? We've got to, we should probably make the player infer which zone that they're in, instead of having to set it manually, but that's fine. Let's see the statue. So a teleporter could send us forward a lot, and an item could send us back, all randomly. Oh, that's maybe a little too purple. But there's our lead statue. Oh, and I didn't move this, Okay, let's choose a better color, and we'll input it. Let's make lead kind of this dark purple. So we'll say 0.18, 0.13, 0.25. What if this was... Okay, that's good enough. And where's that sign 7? It says, hey, if you want to win, you gotta turn this thing that's obviously a statue. But yeah, that's basically the idea, is that the teleporters, well, it's not random. Each teleporter will be linked to a particular place. Maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe we do want the idea of checkpoints. Let's put in a teleporter, because I think teleporter will be easy. And then we'll see if we can fake kind of checkpoints with a teleporter. Oh, I forgot to actually change the color, right? Was it 0.13, 0.13, 0.25? And maybe this won't be quite as aggressively bright. Also, let's bring the copper brightness down a little bit. I just want to see this. We could probably also make this statue be passable by making it passable. I don't know if that will do something weird, though, in terms of will our potions still be able to hit it. Okay, there's our lead. You got to turn this lead statue into gold to win. Okay, cool. And I can walk right through it. Can a potion hit it is what I need to know. Or a candle, for that matter. Yes, a candle still hits it. Teleportation should be done with vampire bite. Sorry, just being random, but could be a cool animation. Okay, and check it out. Just to simulate, we're going to copy this potion real quick. And make a potion that's going to do like... Let's go paste. This child. Copper to tin. Where is it? Copper to tin, where are you? Oh my god. Why? Why? Well, it is fun. We do have fun here. Excuse me. Why is it gotta be like that? Oh, that's some good clean fun. I'm guessing this is 8 times bigger than it's supposed to be, and that it has to do with the zones. I enjoyed that though. I needed a laugh. Good. Let's say this isn't unlimited, and this is going to be lead to copper, right? And so you'll be able to see Lol. We could pick up this potion that's going to be called the wrong thing. Oh, it broke. Oh, yeah. Because if a potion is breakable... Okay, put it in the box, actually. My bad. I just realized why that doesn't work. Put that in the candle chest. We'll call it lead to copper. Wait. You're supposed to be in the chest! Oh, I know why. So I've got to also do it like this. The chest has got to have, as it's another inventory item, we need to put this here. So in some ways we've made our lives sort of difficult. There's going to be a lot of like flicking buttons in the editor to make everything be linked together correctly. Okay, lead to copper. Throw lead to copper at the lead. Okay, that works. Great. Good enough. I don't actually need lead to copper to exist, so delete it. And candle chest, will it say that there is a missing item? Make this none instead. Great. Cool. There's our lead statue. We can draw a lead statue later. Okay, items that kill you. Good lord. Teleporters. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a new script. So I think we're going to just make this a component that will attach to another object. We're going to do this in a very similar way to the way we did dialogue, where we're going to put a little trigger around the object, or we can make the object itself. So there's two ways we could do this. The first one is the way that we did inventories, where the object itself is the trigger. The other thing we could do is the way we did dialogue, because we wanted to put dialogue potentially on something that we don't pass through. Maybe. And so dialogue like puts an invisible trigger that's just a little bit bigger than the object behind it. Probably for a teleporter, it's always going to be something that we want to go through, right? So let's... I'm thinking about it. I have some regrets already. Well, inventory does add it. Does it being a pick-upable container add a collider? It does, and it adds it to the object itself rather than adding a child object. Let's do it the same way we did dialogue. We might live to regret this later and have to redo everything or redo a bunch of stuff if there's a problem with having lots of triggers. But we've configured it so that triggers don't like interact with each other. You can kind of change which different layers of the game are interacting with each other or triggering collision effects. And so we put all of the triggers on the same layer. We made a rule that triggers can only basically collide with the player. So hopefully that will work. Let's do teleport. Sure. Okay, so a teleporter is going to need a position that it teleports you to. I kind of think that's it. Let's see. Teleporter. So let's look at how we did dialogue real quick. And we can steal... Take that comment out. I don't want it. All this code from start for adding our little trigger area. We'll call this teleport trigger. That all works. That should all be fine. We don't need anything to happen on update, so we just need to add this little trigger area when we first start up. And then we need a public. We'll call it a vector 3, so that's just 3, coordinates basically. Public vector 3, teleport point. Teleport to, teleport destination. Well, let's just call this destination. And so you have to set this from the editor. I think that will be it. So the changes that we need to make will be on player. The way that we've been doing all of this is we've been saying when you collide with anything, we check if it's a container. If it's a container, maybe we do something. If it's a dialogue trigger, we check if for that. It's going to be a similar thing here. So let's do... Yeah, we made a mistake making containers work slightly differently, but that's okay. They're a little bit of a special snowflake here. We'll say teleport if collider is a teleporter. So the first thing we're going to do is try to get this component, which is teleport. So basically we'll see if we've attached teleporter to this thing in the editor. If not, then we don't have to do anything. Here, we'll just skip over this. We'll say collided teleporter. Collider, game object transform, parent, get, okay, teleporter. It's very similarly, we can say if collided teleporter, actually I think it's going to be super fun and easy to implement, does not equal null, then we can just move the player, right? And so we'll say player, this dot transform dot position. I don't know, actually. Can it be this easy? Equals collided teleporter dot destination. Let's find out. This seems too good to be true. Let's find out all the ways that this is a horrible idea that ruins everything. The way that we're going to test this, let's bring our little boy, the player, over here. Down here maybe, and we'll just add something that's a teleporter. Let's copy that. We can just make any one of these platforms be a teleporter, I guess. It's probably the easiest way to do it. So duplicate, we'll make this be a slightly different shape. Like a square. Here's our teleporter. Let's give it a material that's different so that it'll be easy for us to tell it apart. So we'll just make this lead right now. I don't know. And we'll attach a destination to it. Now, teleporters, do they need to teleport us to the same zone? Not necessarily, but it might be weird if they don't. Well, we just put the player wherever we would want it to be. I think that will work. So, because the player is not part of a zone. So let's say we want it to teleport us up here. I would look at this and say, okay, that's like negative 6.5 and 5 is the y. So I think if we go to this thing and configure the destination and say destination, where is it? Oh, we need to add the teleporter. So we add teleporter. We say the destination is, why is destination not configurable here? As it's supposed to be. Public vector 3 destination. Why? Am I not allowed to set a vector 3 from here? These feel like vector 3s. No? What if I'm really explicit about this and do, what is it, serialize? Doesn't like it. Serialized attribute cannot be found. What is it? What is it? A serialized field? What is this called again? Serialized field. Last thing to try. And then we'll give up and do this a different way. Okay, doing this a different way. Check it out. Public float. Destination X. Public float, destination Y. My player's position will not be destination, it will be new, vector 3, collider teleporter, dot destination X, same thing but destination Y. And then 0.0f, because we are in 2D, we don't actually care about the z coordinate. Will this be something I can set now? I did already forget where I wanted to send my player to. Collider Teleporter does not exist in the current context. That is because Collided Teleporter. Because I forgot what I named this. Boom. Okay, good enough. And let's send our player to... No! Let's send our player to... What did we say? Let's just put him up here. Which will be 17.5, say, and we'll put him at 5.5. This also making me be in zone 4, where I am now. Okay, destination X, 17.5. Destination Y, 5.5. Will it work? Let's find out. Moment of truth. Oh, yeah! Okay, definitely a polish note to make it clear what is happening when that happens. But we can do it. Is there anything weird like... Okay, but this is good. This means we can have spikes now, we can have water, we can have teleporters. This can all be done now. Okay, cool. Teleporters are a thing. Welcome to the game, teleporters. I don't want one right here, though. Delete. Okay, so teleporters are done. That means that we have checkpoints. Here's what I want to do. I want to do materials that float and sink. So let's go to materials. I think that we need that to do some puzzles here. So we're going to do a material.stone. We're going to add stone and wood. Stone sinks, wood floats, everything sinks except for wood. It's probably the more meaningful way to go. Material dot... These all need colors, right? So let's start by making stone be a darker version of tin. That should be easy enough. To freestyle a little bit. All of these we can dial in for real later as polish. And then our wood, maybe a lighter or less red version of our copper. So we'll go like, make this like an 8. Make this like a 6. And make this a 4. Will it work? I don't know. Then I want to do a static method that's going to be does material public static. It's going to be a boolean, so it's going to tell us a yes or no. Does material float? And it's going to be really easy to do this to start with. It's going to take in a material that we'll call material. This is what I'm talking about. A lot of these names stuttering. Please, game, mercy. Okay, I can fix this. Okay, and so what it's going to do is, right now it's just going to return, please. We're going to simply implement this as return material equals material.wood. So for the moment, wood floats, everything else sinks. Back! Hey, welcome! We're starting to lay out the level a little bit. We made, we added teleporters, and we're about to do things that float and sink based on their material. So now we need to edit our platformer, right? And I think, so right now it has a material. I think we should optionally give platforms public material, public, what it'll be, a float. And we'll call this, floating and sinking. I'll work on level design tomorrow. Okay. I think that we'll be back tomorrow working from 6 to 10 again. That's probably where we're gonna fill this out a little bit more. Floating, not wood. Floating, Y. Is my sprite in? It is, but it's not animated right now. And we'll also have a sinking Y. So, the idea is going to be... Ooh, can we set one of these? So we'll say if a set sinking or floating, or set... Was there issues with animating? We just haven't done it yet. So basically, we'll need to have some kind of support for swapping between frames of a sprite. Right now, we don't do that at all. So everything is a static sprite right now. I haven't looked at what it looks like flipping back and forth between the animations. We also need that functionality just because it's important to be able to tell which way you're facing, and we need to, you know, at a minimum, flip that sprite when we're pointing back and forth. So like, you know, animating is not really built in to the engine. We have to write it ourselves a little bit, to my knowledge. Maybe there's a great easy way to do it that I don't know about. Set initial location as floating or sinking height based on material. So we're gonna say if this dot material. Oh, we can use our materials function that we just wrote, right? Materials dot does material float. Well, let's just call this does float. It'll be a little bit shorter. So materials dot does float. This dot material. We didn't. The sprite looks good though, Rangoet. Like when we scaled it up, it looks good and sharp. So if materials dot does float, this dot material, then we'll say this dot floating y is equal to this dot transform dot position dot y. Those are floats, right? Cool. So otherwise, if it doesn't float, then the sinking y will set to our current y. And this way, if we're switching between floating and sinking, we can ensure that it'll go back to the point that it started at. If we change something, for instance, that initially sinks to make it float and then make it go back to sinking again, it'll end up in the same place it started. So now we need to do something to update probably here, right? It's not public, it's just void update, right? So this is, again, being called every frame. And what we can say is, if I think it will be more efficient if we have like a Boolean that tells us, basically a yes or no switch that will tell us if we're moving right now. And so like we'll only check if we need to move between floating and sinking if this is set. And basically when the material changes, we'll update this and then flip it back. You'll see. It'll just make this a little bit easier. We'll just go bool. This can be private. No, this should be public. No, this can be private because we'll set it in change material, right? So we'll go private bool is moving, and it'll default to false. And so when we change the material, if we say this dot new material, okay, we'll go update material and color. We'll say if materials dot does float this dot material does not equal materials dot does float new material. So basically, if the old material floats and the new one sinks, or the old one sinks and the new one floats, then we should do this dot is moving is true. On update, if we're not moving, we can exit really early. We can just get out of here. So if not this dot is moving, excuse me. Did I quit? I guess I did. Really? Okay, that's fine. We'll open all that again. Lamau. Oh! How can I... Oh, no, I know what I did. I'm just in the wrong tab. Blurp. Okay. If this is not moving, then we just return early. So there's nothing to do on update unless this is moving. If So then we'll say if this dot, oh my gosh, materials dot does float, this dot material. So if we're moving and this material floats, we should be trying to move up to the floating point. Floating point is a computer science word, so we should actually be careful saying that. But basically, we're trying to move up to the level where we would float to. And I don't really have a good frame of reference for how fast this should be, so we'll just do it like this. This dot transform position. I think we have to... I don't think we can modify this directly. I think we have to set it. But that could be wrong. Oh my gosh. Position dot x. This dot transform dot position dot y plus, we'll call it 0. I don't know, 01? We'll make it too slow first, and then we'll do it too fast later. So basically, if we're floating, then, and we're moving, if we're moving and the material floats, we will try to move up. If that causes us to be where we need to be, or above where we need to be, then we'll stop moving. We'll say if this dot transform dot position dot y. I did want to do less programming today, but there's just a few more things we need to get into place. It's greater than this dot floating y. Then we can say this dot moving. This dot is moving is false. So now I need to do something very similar for if we're sinking. In fact, we'll probably just do an else. So if we're moving, so if we're here, then we know we're moving. If we're floating, we try to go up. If we're sinking, we try to go down. And we will have to try this out to see if it works. All right, does float, does sink. Okay. And we're going to need a few things to do this. We're going to need to put a potion down, probably. Well, we could do that. That's going to be change something into wood. Let's just first run this and make sure nothing breaks as we're getting started. Does everything still kind of work? Oh, those controls are so bad. Do I want to make that jump even shorter? Maybe the movement speed? I mean, these controls are, yeah, like I said, just phenomenally bad. But I think we're going to have to live with that for the moment. Okay, let's test this. Let's stay focused. Let's not try to fix the controls right now. We are going to copy this tin to air source. We're going to drop this in zone 4. Excuse me. Drop this as a child here. Please don't be huge, as we sometimes see. Good, it's not. Oh, is this in zone 4? Can I move this to zone 3, please? Alright, put this bad boy here. And this is actually going to be, the potion is going to be what? We'll call this tin to wood. And then tin goes in, wood comes out. And we're going to pretend this is in water, basically, for the moment. Let's copy one of these blocks here. It's actually kind of fun to copy all these little pieces. Duplicate this bad boy, but call this, we're just going to call this tin block. We're going to put this bad boy here. Oh, you know what we're going to do? Well, no, this is fine. We're just testing this right now, right? So this should get locked in as it's floating Y. Oh, you know what? We'll have to do a little bit, because we don't always want things to float and sink all the time. but only if they're in water, right? And so we'll need to configure whether that's something that they should do at all. But let's go material. We'll make this tin. And we'll set the, right now its Y position is at just about 0-ish. Let's put its floating Y at 2 and see what the hell that will do. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Let's find out if that works. So here's my prediction. Where did the floor go? Yeah, okay. I know where the floor went. Sorry, let's fix our player's starting zone. Let's bring back the floor. No. Player, what zone do you think that you're in? You're in zone 3. Why have we unloaded all the things in zone 4? Zone 3, are you not next to zone 4? Why have you done this to me? Look, it's not gonna ruin our test. All the stuff is back now. Okay, that's fine for now. Oh, look! It kind of works. It needs to definitely move faster than that. And then it stops. That's good. We'll put another source down that's going to be like wood to something else. I'm so pleased that that kind of worked. Tin to air source. Can I move this bad boy here? And we'll call this one like wood to tin. The potion needs to be updated. Tin to wood needs to be wood to tin. And the other thing we want to do is make that move a little bit faster, maybe. To do this, we will simply... And the other thing we also want to do is... public bool is movable. So if it's not movable, we'll skip all of this. And that way we won't have to worry about like turning a door into wood and it moves somewhere weird if it's not what we intended. So if not, this dot is movable. Or, so if this is, either if this is not movable or if it's not moving right now, then we return. Let's double the speed that those were moving. And I think this will work. I think this will move it back and forth between those two positions. But let's see. The last thing that I need to do is say, yes, this is movable. I think this will work. And with the teleporter, we can make like a body of water be... Okay, so again, this is unloaded for some reason. For some sinister reason that we should look into at some point. That's not loading correctly. Okay, so first, tin to wood. The wood block floats up. And then stops. And then wood to tin. Oh, give me another one. Wood to tin. Wood to tin. And it comes back down and then stops where it was before. Fantastic. Ah, it kind of works. Okay, we can do a little water area too. Oh, wow. It's kind of coming together, actually. Okay, so check out this little area that we can put in. I'll show you an example puzzle that I kind of thought of. Let's get rid of these things. Actually, that... crossing a lot off my list here. Because teleporters work is several different things that I have here. So the green makes the lift fall. So the idea is it's not going to be... So what I want is to have platforms that are in water and you change them from stone to wood and wood to stone to make them float or sink as needed. And so we should be able to do a little puzzle with that. Let's do it in... We could do it like down here. And we'll make it so you have to get the potion, one of the potions that you need maybe up here. Ah, cool. Yeah, let's see if that will work. So this is all in zone 2 right now. This is where we're going to work for the moment. And let's just make that first puzzle where you bring something up to the surface so you can jump across. Actually, they'll probably be in zone 1. Okay. It doesn't super matter, but designing this will be interesting. A lot of navigation potential. Could even have the stone block paths underwater. Yeah, or you could make it so that, like, yeah, something is, stone, or something is wood that's, like, blocking the way, and you make it sink so that it's stone, and then you can also hop across it and stuff. I think there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this. Let's do the most basic version, which will be, stone to wood. So let's actually put a little... We'll need unique sprites for all of these, but right now, this will just be another yellow potion. We'll copy, we'll put this in zone 4. We will paste as child. This will be stone to wood. Source. The potion that's in it will be stone to wood. And we've got to do that. We've got to go stone becomes wood. And then we will make some water here. What is water going to look like? I guess I can make things transparent. Designing it may be a little hard, though. It's basically a much more conceptualized and physical lock and key, basically. Kind of, yeah. I think that there's a little bit more you can do, particularly since we have teleporters that are acting like basically a death area that will, like, teleport you back somewhere. I think that there are cool puzzles we can do to be switching between floating and sinking. But yeah, you're right that, like, it is kind of like that. I'm not gonna say it's super different. It'll also create choices because we only have 1 or 2 potions. We can make them have to choose how to spend it. So I was thinking about that. Right now, all of the potions are from these, like, sources that are unlimited. And the reason for that is because... Why is this invisible? Please. Is it huge somewhere? Is it behind something? It is behind something. Why would you do this? You're part of Zone 4. The reason for this is because I don't want you to be able to throw away a potion and be completely boned. We can do limited potions also. But right now, because potions break when you throw them, and it's easy to just get rid of a potion, just chuck a potion away and be like, oh no. You're getting them from infinite sources everywhere right now. Maybe that's a mistake, though. Maybe there's a way to work around that problem better. Pace this child. Would this be behind? No! Is that really going to be behind when I start this up? I guess that sort of makes sense. Can I move... Oh yeah, and this is a problem too. Just that it doesn't expect us to start in this zone. Yeah, okay, it is in the back. How do I make this not be in the back? I guess I gotta go layer. Do I need to change the layer? We could just limit how many they can hold. So you take from an infinite source, but you can only hold 1. Yeah, so we've got that right now. You've got 5 spots in the inventory. But we could reduce that. Or fuss that in a different way. Oh, is starting zone needs to be set. Oh, that's the problem. Maybe. I think that's the problem. I think that's why we're not loading stuff incorrectly in a lot of places. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to be able to see tin to air source, but it's behind everything, and I suddenly can't remember how to make that not a problem. Sorting layer. Can I do sorting layer background? There it goes. For all these zones. Oh, and the other ones actually do have that. Just the new one that I added doesn't have sorting layer background. Okay. So here's our tin to air source, but it's not really going to be called tin to air source. It's going to be called stone to wood source. And it is going to have a potion in it called stone to wood. The other thing we might want to do is think about combining potions. by which I mean having potions that are only partial and won't do anything by themselves. That's like a potion, you know, a stone to like alpha or something, and then alpha to wood, and you put them together. I think 3 is a good amount to hold, but it will vary on level design. That's true. I think that you're right about that. Okay, and we need stone goes in, wood comes out. And then let's make our little area here in zone 1. Underneath. Can I copy this tall boy? Doesn't need to be that tall. Let's make this much shorter. Ah, that's fine. Ah, it's nice having this kind of chill music here. Oh, this wall is supposed to be part of zone 1. Is this going to make it huge if I do this? No. Okay, good. Let's make this our little water area. This I can just duplicate. I want to make it when I try to design stuff, I designed to always have one room connect to at least 3 rooms. That is always picking of 2 paths. I see what you mean. So you'd always be... Right, having to choose... Yeah, potentially where you want to go. Yeah. What's the right way to... Yeah, because we've got 2 paths coming out of the beginning here, but we'll need to be branching more. Yeah. I guess right now we're kind of prototyping too, but let's see. So if you can't go here yet, because you'll have to go. I guess there's 3 ways here, but you have to take out this door because you go 1, 2, 3 will be up here. Okay, let's try putting water in, because we haven't done anything with water, and so water is just going to be a teleporter that just teleports you back up here. If the map gets big enough, I want to have a room connecting to loads of rooms, and you got to pick which one you're going through or open. It's not a bad idea. Remember, we also do have teleporters, although right now we're just using them as a bad thing. A teleporter indicates basically an obstacle. Okay, let's add a 2D object, a sprite, a square. That is a big boy square. We want you to be big, but not that big, please, square. Let's make the X be like 2. Actually, that's probably just about perfect. And we'll do this at like 0.6. So here's our water. Now, the question is, can I choose a color that is semi-transparent? I think that I can. So here's our water. And can I make this like 0.3? So it's clear. Because we want to be able to see where it's going to take us. Let's put our player in that room so we can try out the water. And we'll say this will teleport the player to... What if we did negative 10.4... or 10.5... Negative 10... Negative 10, and the Y will be... Negative 9 point... Negative 9. So we'll be teleporting like right here. So we're going to add a component. Teleporting, I don't understand how that will help design-wise. It's so that it's basically so we can make... I mean, it's for a couple of things. If there's just like a... You know, because... we can only pack kind of so many paths into an area. And so if you wanted to fork more, you could do that. If you wanted to be able to see something and maybe teleport there by a different path, you could do that. You know, teleport there from a different part of the map later. Maybe you could do that. Right now we're mostly using it for obstacles. So the idea is like I try to go here and I get teleported back from where I was. Although... we might change that to be like, you set a checkpoint and you get teleported back to the checkpoint if you hit an obstacle. That honestly might be the thing to do. Let's do it this way for now. I mean, the awkward thing is like, so if I jump in here, I'll get teleported back to here, right? Which is fine. But then if I jump in from here, if I'm like coming back and jumping from here, it'll TP me here, which is arguably useful. But maybe it's fine. Add component, teleporter. What did we say? I should go to negative 10, negative 9. I see, yeah, just load the player to a different part instead. Exactly. This means no matter how big the map gets, we don't need to worry about stuff getting messy. Reminds me of Rain World. That's kind of the idea, yeah. I don't actually have like a specific, I guess like a puzzle or something in mind using teleporters other than this. Okay, so it's got a destination now. Let's see if the water works. This might not be fully loaded in because we gotta set which one is the starting zone. Okay, so here, please. Can I go in the water? Whoop! And it teleports me back here. Oh, that doesn't look good. Let's lower the water level. I think will help address that. It could also be a thing where, let's look at our teleporter. So the other thing we could do is make these, the hitbox smaller. And we can make it lower too. We can do both. What was the other thing that I wanted to do? We wanted to put a wood block in there, right? And while we're thinking of it, let's make zone 0 be our starting zone instead of zone 3. Or zone 2? I gotta go. Alright, alright, alright. I'll see you later, Rangoet. Okay. This will be here. Let's just move this out of the way for the moment. I want to put a wood block down here, right? So let's copy this block. And we'll put it in zone 1. Paste this child. Put it down at the bottom here. Oh, nice. Actually, I think this is going to work kind of good. Let's make this wide. Even than that. Let's be like down here. And we'll make this material be stone. Then the floating we want to be like here. And we'll make this... This is negative 1.2, say, for the floating Y. So that will be stone. We'll need the stone to wood potion. So actually, let's just move that over here real quick while we're doing this puzzle. While we're testing this puzzle. Let's copy this stone to wood source and put one in zone 1 as well for the moment. We might need to break these up so that they're not just vertical lines, so that it's a grid instead of like long vertical lines, but we'll see. I was gonna make the water lower too, right? Should have known. Let's make zone 1 be our starting zone for the moment, just while we're testing this. I guess I'm in zone 2 though. It's fine. Okay, we get our stone to wood. We toss it down. We get our stone to wood. First of all, let's make that water even lower. No, you're supposed to float. Oh, I gotta make it is movable. Okay. Couple of things. First, make this lower. A lot lower. Like that much lower. Then our wood block. A stone floor. Negative 1.43. And is movable needs to be true. Okay, let's see this. Is it clear that this is stone down here? Not super clear. But it does kind of work, actually. Oh. No, please. It's not supposed to be like this. Why? Why? Let's take a look at why that happened. I have a theory. Stone floor. Negative 1.43 is the sinking Y. That needs to be the floating Y. Please. Why? Let's, okay, why is that still? Floating Y is negative 1.43. Oh, does it need to be the player position? Is this, let's make this negative 11.2 and see if that fixes it. There you go. Water could be a little higher, but that basically does it. We gotta really communicate that this is stone down there. Especially if it's gonna be... Oh, that is damn close to the water, though. I worry. But it kind of works. Alright. Let's just make sure you can't do it without the potion. Hoop. What if I get a big running start? You can do it. Alright, so it needs to be a little wider too. So we can make this like a 2.5 as well. Weird. Okay. Fine. And this we can make longer if we want. We can make this like a 1.5. Put this bad boy here. And then the Y, the floating Y should all still be right. Let's make our player facing. Yeah, we just need like better visual indicators of a lot of stuff that's happening, but oh right, the ceiling breaks it too. Too soon. Hey, but that does kind of work actually. Alright, let's get rid of this source. Maybe we could put a sign here to be like, I wonder if there's something we can do about this stone. And this will be an NPC, I guess, eventually. To lift that stone block. And now, there's no question that it's stone. That stone block. Down there. Kind of works. Did I get stuck on the sign somehow? No. Let's try what we've got so far. We shouldn't do this every time we add a new thing, but I just want to review like what we have here. So if we were like starting from the beginning and we said zone 0 is our starting zone and zone 2 or 1 or whatever is not. Let's try it. I also want to go out here and make sure that only these things are loaded. Good. Oh, that should probably be a zone. Oh, it's still in zone 1. This, yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's go back to the game. Move and jump with the WASD keys. Item icon to take one. Potion at the wall with the Q key. So we've got copper to tin. And then we know we have tin to air. Let's grab a bunch of these because we know we're going to need more. I don't know if we're ever going to have a good reason to take things out of here. To have, like, yeah. Take things out of a chest that are not unlimited, but... Okay, so if you were here... Oh, well, I moved that door. I forgot that I moved that. Can I still make this jump? Even though it's a bit annoying. So if you were really playing, you would have to knock this out of the way. And then you'd go jump here with your terrible controls. And you'd say, oh, stone to wood. A... Oh, why am I stuck? Okay, that's something we gotta look out for, is little discrepancies in the height of platforms will F us over. Noted. I wonder if there's a way to lift that stone block down there. No! I threw it the wrong way. Let's fill up on those. Oh, you know what? Can't get back up. Bit of a problem. Okay, this needs to be addressed. Lots of things that need to be addressed here. Like... These need to be flush, or else we'll have a bad time. Or else they need to obviously not. If they're not flush, they need to be really obviously not flush. Blech. Oof, I don't know. Where's my zone 1? Stone floor. I think that's fine. Oh, what level design. What stunning, beautiful design. So right, the player will come here and say, I already know this one. I already know tin to air. Let's actually move this source just a little bit over. Maybe. This is in the correct zone, right? This is in zone 4? It is. Good. Stone to wood potion is here. Let's make a new color potion for that. It's not really the most important thing in the world, but I just want to draw a little bit. So we'll go to our green source. And we'll make this red. And we'll also need... I forgot that they get rid of this palette. They get rid of the palette every time. Can I, like... color... Aren't I supposed to be able to, like, pick a palette, edit palette, palette size, load palette? Oh. Okay, that... Will this work? It will work. Noted. Okay, cool. Okay, let's open up the juice as well, and we'll make a red juice for this. We'll just do some filling. Can we be even brighter and whiter than that? Cool. There's our red juice. These are all probably placeholders, but you never know. We might get in a position where they're not placeholders anymore because we're out of time. Let's go... That kind of worked to import the palette, right? But if I go load palette from red juice... There. Yeah! Kind of works, please. Not like this. We can go red source. And then, just make these distinct from each other. We should be able to go, because people are already asking questions about the potion colors. Red source. Boom. Okay, let's look at our little list of things that we got to do. Because we actually have done kind of a lot already today. We can move some things out. Carry item changes player configuration. That's probably the next thing we should do. It'd be good to be able to, like, get double jumps. Platforms have sing and floating positions. This is done. Move between sing and floating based on material. We've got this. So we can put that under platforms here. We also did... We didn't do respawn point. Maybe we do want that. Areas that send you back to checkpoint. But we did do teleports, which is a very similar thing. But maybe that's what we need next. I think the next thing we need is this kind of combining idea. So, we need partial materials as well. I guess we should probably define these separately. Ooh, and we'll need like a registry. Actually, we're gonna punt that for now. We're gonna do that next time. Instead, let's do this carried item changes player configuration. I feel like we can do that relatively easily here. We might actually wrap up at the hour. I feel like we're kind of getting to a place where we're gonna need to do a bunch of coding, and it will maybe not be so interesting to watch as doing more of the like layout stuff. Or we could do the player animation. Well, let's punt on that as well. Okay, so what was the thing that I said I wanted to do? Carry item changes player configuration. That I think we can do. No, mainly changing the player's number of jumps. So let's go to our pick-upables. And we can do... What I'd really like is to be able to attach like an on pickup component that will... Maybe we could subclass? That's a little wacky. I actually don't know how well that will work in Unity either. Let's not write this in a general purpose way. My instinct is to write this in kind of a big general purpose, systemic, almost like a functional programming kind of a way. I think that's a mistake. I think at this point we want to be favoring hard coding things to get them out fast. So let's say pickupable. Let's have this void on pickup. So this will take in a player, and the player will pass itself in to this on pickup method, and it will do stuff to the player when you use it, and we'll also have on drop. So we will go public void public int jumps added. This is usually going to be 0. Almost always it's going to be 0. But we'll have it be... But you'll be able to pick up items, for instance, that will give you an extra jump. Is this a huge mistake? Will we end up in a place where you pick up an item and you drop it and now you don't have the double jump anymore because I threw it in a lake or something? It's a risk. So what we need is... Oh... Items teleport also? Yeah. Thrown items teleport. Wow. It can be done. I think it's needed. I think that if you are going to be... have the risk of throwing things into water, you need to be able to teleport them back out. Let's not worry about it quite for the moment. Okay, so on pickup. Let's say maybe add jumps. And maybe remove jumps. If... Ooh, I am getting tired. We should wrap up soon. This dot... Let's just call this adds jump. And we can pick up multiple of these items and have them in our inventory. But I don't think we should ever have an item that gives us more than one extra jump. Adds jump. Even this is a little more over-engineered than what we need. Player.maxJumps. Is that what it's called? Max jumps, great. Plus equals 1. And then same thing here to maybe remove jump. Subtracts a jump when we drop it. Okay, now we need to be really careful and make sure that every way that we get an item can be, oh my gosh, can be reversed. Or every time we add the item, we need to add the jump. Every time we drop the item, we need to call on drop. What a nightmare. Okay, so that's probably going to be all in the player, right? And maybe the item icon. So, when I pick up an item, we can call its on-jump method. That should be easy. So, I try to pick up the item. If I picked it up successfully, let's do successful, pick up. We can go collided, pick upable, dot, what do we call that? On pickup. We could pass in this player. The other way that we would... let's also do dropping from here. This is definitely going to be a source of bugs. I can already feel it. We need the inventory item. Inventory item dot on drop. And all we're going to do to test this is make the candle give us a double jump. Inventory item dot on drop. This, cool. Let's also look at those inventory icons, because we can add and remove things here as well. Add a label, remove a label. The player's inventory, add to open container. Adding inventory equals open container dot inventory. Do I have the pick upable here? Pointer event data. No, I don't have it here. But we'll do it. We'll have it here. This dot parent pick upable. Oh no, I totally do. Okay, cool. Call on item pickup drop effects. We'll say if adding to player. So if we're adding this to the player, that means that you're getting the item. So we will do this dot parent pick upable dot, oh my gosh, on pickup we always have player go. Let's do it like this. Equals player go dot get component player. Let's just declare this as a variable, and then we'll do pass player in here. So if you're adding it to the player, then do on pickup for the player. Otherwise, this again is making the assumption that items are always either moving to or from the player's inventory. So there's no passing items around between inventories without the player being involved. I think that's a reasonable assumption to make, but it's something that we'll just want to be cognizant of in case it was not one. Cool. Seems good. Any other ways to pick up or drop an item? You either get it from an inventory, or you pick it up from the world, or you throw it out of your inventory, or throw it with the throw key. I think those should be all the things. Pick upable does not contain a definition for on drop. Yes, that's correct, because the casing is wrong. And did I do it in player? Here it is. Should be uppercase. And we'll move our player, we'll move the candle into this row maybe. And just make it, give me a double jump. Inventory item does not contain a definition for parent pick upable. I imagine that's also some kind of spelling thing. Parent pick upable, yeah. For unhinged reasons, I decided to uppercase that U in pickup. I would say I regret that one. Pickable up on pickup player is inaccessible due to its protection level. That's quite right. We need to make that method public. Both of these methods. Take a look again. It's working through the last. Pickable does not contain a definition for on pickup. Yeah, where is this? Also in player. Also the same issue. It's just casing. Love to program. Love programming. Okay, this actually should hopefully do it. Cool. Let's start our player in this other zone. And we'll make this candle be the candle of now you get to double jump. Adds jump? Yes. That's... It's dumb because, you know, 90% of items don't adds jump, right? And so it would make more sense probably to have a different component or something, but this is just the fastest way kind of to write it. Again, we're trying to pivot more towards bespoke scripting over general systems just because we're closing in on the deadline this week. All right, so the other candle makes me double jump, and we'll just call this double jump candle. The last thing that I need to do is change the starting zone to be zone 1. And then the player's zone needs to be zone 1. Boom. And that should work. So, what should happen? We should pick up the item. We need to try all the different ways of picking up and getting rid of this item. So we look at the player. Let's just focus on that. The player's max jumps are 1. And indeed, I can jump 1 time. I pick up this candle. Now my max jumps are 2. That works correctly. And the double jump candle, the name is too long, but that's fine. We throw the candle. Max jumps are back down to 1. Great. Pick up the candle. Oh, my max jumps are 1. What happened? Okay. Yep, we gotta do one more thing. So these pick-upables basically are getting cloned when they move between our inventory and the world. And so what we need to do is make sure that that property of adding jumps is being preserved. So we'll do that here. And again, this is why this comment here says this is kind of dumb, because in retrospect, there was almost definitely something smarter we could have done here. Adds jump. This dot adds jump. So now, if we pick it up and throw it and pick it up again, it should still add our jump and not forget that that is an important property of the item. Let's see. Let's find out. Where are we getting these null pointer errors? Is it when I'm stopping the game? Throw this. My jumps are back down to 1. I pick this up again. My jumps are back up to 2. Great. I go here. I put this away. My jumps are back down to 1. Good. And indeed, that is the case. I pick up the double jump candle, and now my max jumps are up to 2 again. Cool. Works. Tell you what, we're ending earlier than planned, but I can feel my mind getting a little fuzzy from doing this. We actually got quite a lot done today. We've started to build out our map a little bit. Crucially, we've put in most of the mechanics that we had kind of remaining. I reckon there are enough pieces here if we wanted to just stop writing new code or stop writing new mechanics. We probably could. We could probably build a little, you know, kind of demo out of this. What did we do? We just finished doing items carried, change player configuration. This is done. Thrown items teleport. What a nightmare, but it does need to be done. Yeah, I mean we got a ton of stuff done here. We added the idea of, so we just made our world bigger generally. We built out our little tutorial area. This will probably remain roughly the same. We added some new materials like lead. We added the idea, we worked on the controls a little bit, although I'm really still not satisfied with them. We probably won't mess with them too much more, because if we're laying out the level, we don't want to be fussing with the controls more from that point. We added the idea that some materials float or sink and move vertically if you change whether they're floating or sinking. So like we did with this wood block here. We also made it so that you can be teleported by something. And in particular, this is useful for teleporting us back from an obstacle. We might tweak this. We might make this more like a checkpoint mechanic. But for the moment, seems we probably should do that. Put it on the list. Keep it on the list at least. If I removed it, keep it there. Yeah, checkpoint and respawn key. We need that. And we also did this idea that now you can pick up an item that's going to increase your maximum jumps by 1. We could have a bunch of copies of that item floating around the world that you could pick up to help you do longer and longer jumps. Could be fun. Cool. Let's call it here for now. I don't have the calendar ready on this machine, so I'll just say that we'll be back tomorrow from roughly 6 to 10, although we might end early like we're doing tonight, to work more on this game. We should be like really focused next time on doing the layout. That should be really our goal next time, is to have a complete layout, and then we will finish up adding a bunch of sprites. Yeah, the other thing we need is player animation, right? Before I forget. Animate/facing. Because knowing which way we're facing is good. Anyway, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow from 6 to 10, working on some more of this. Let's call this here for now. I'll upload, push this latest commit to GitHub, and maybe fuss with the layout a little bit more, and then put up another demo on Itch, so you can try it out if you're interested. If you watched any of this live tonight, thank you so much for watching live. Thanks for hanging out as I babbled away and kind of built a little bit of one level. And if you watch this as a recording or on YouTube, thank you so much for watching that way too. And until next time, I will see you later. Didn't work. No, my hotkeys don't work on this computer? See you later.